Okay, I'm back again with another video. This video is actually from November last year, so my lawn has almost all the growing season to recover. Today, I'm installing an ag line as well as doing a mini lawn renovation. For those of you who don't know, an ag line is a subsurface drain line, also called a French drain, which is used to remove subsurface groundwater. Groundwater can cause lawn roots to sit in water, which can cause all kinds of fungal disease if not dealt with, or even completely kill your lawn. That's why drainage is super important for any lawn. Not just for the health of your lawn, but if your grass is up against your house, it can cause undermining of the structure due to water causing soil movement. When installing a new lawn, it's best practice to have ag lines running around the perimeter of the lawn, picking up groundwater and directing it back into the stormwater. This way, particularly in the colder months, water is not staying stagnant for a long period of time and becoming soft to walk on. A lot of people will not have ag lines installed on their property and likely to have damp, muddy areas that cannot be walked on in cold months. If you're like me and have garden beds, having groundwater can cause all your plants to get root rot and kill them all. This is exactly what happened on this area. Here you can see I used to have hedges all along this area, which got root rot and all died. In order to combat this, I'm installing both an ag line in the lawn, which is where my block is sloped, and I'm also laying another ag line in the garden bed itself. This will act as a double layer of protection for both the lawn and also new plants within this garden bed. Before we go any further, don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. This goes a long way to help this channel. Now, let's talk through the method of how to install an ag line into an existing lawn. First item to do is to locate your stormwater connection point. By finding this, you're able to determine where you need to run your pipes back to connect into. For me, I had an old connection point discharging onto the street. I located this on another project where I discovered that the downpipe and stormwater connection to the house was either not connected properly or it was completely blocked. Here are some shots of this project. I upgraded the line to a 100mm stormwater line and connected onto the old pipe, which allowed me to have a discharge point to this new ag line. Once you have located your discharge point, you need to determine the depth of your trench that you can dig to. Typically 350mm is the lowest depth you want to be doing. This means there is enough dirt to go back on top of the pipe to ensure there are no issues with the lawn drying out or the roots having not enough dirt to establish. Importantly, you also want to ensure that any future lawn renovations do not hit this pipe, particularly if you're a core aerating. Next task to do is to mark out where you want your pipe to go. For me, this was just roughly 200mm off the garden edging to ensure there are no issues with the sprinkler or edger blade. Once that line is marked out, simply use the width of the shovel to determine the width of the trench. Try to take off the first 150mm cleanly, ensuring you are cutting off blocks of turf so it can be relayed easily when reinstating. This will also make it much faster for your recovery process. Once you have laid out your blocks of turf, it's time to dig down to your trench depth. It's important to remember that the base of the trench has a fall from the highest point back to the lowest point, which is where you'll be connecting your pipe back to the stormwater line. You'll want to go 50 to 60mm lower than your pipe that you're connecting into to allow for ease of connection.
Let the bass kick.
Great deal.
Next step, it's time to lay down some rock. I'm using 20mm drainage scoria. Lay down some rock all along the base to form a layer above the dirt. If you didn't quite get your falls right, now is the time where you'll be able to create some falls with the rock. Now it's time to lay down the geofabric layer. Geofab will ensure that the dirt and roots will not clog up once the egg line is installed. Lay this all along your trench with enough width to eventually wrap the pipe. If you have enough depth, lay down some more rock within the geofab as a base for the egg line to sit on. At this point, it's time to lay the pipe. I'm using a 100mm egg line with a sock, which is just another geofabric layer for further protection against clogging up in the future. Once your pipe is laid, you'll want to cover this with another layer of rock, ideally around 100mm of rock. After this is complete, wrap the top of the rocks with the spare geofabric layer that has been laid, creating a pipe that is wrapped in rock and geofabric. Again, depending on the depth you are able to achieve, add another layer of rock on top of this geofabric layer until you are around 250mm away from the top of the trench. Grass roots need a minimum of 200mm to be healthy, so ensure that you are not going beyond this point or it will create issues in the future. You can now reinstate the soil and turf back into its original state, getting it as close to surface level as possible. At this point, once all the lawn has been reinstated, add a layer of top dressing. This will ensure that all your levels will be back to its original state and the recovery process can commence. Don't be surprised if you need to top dress a couple of times, as the soil will take a while to settle after it has been dug up. As part of this project, I decided to sculpt the entire lawn. It'd be ideal to do a full lawn renovation at this point, but I did not really need to do one this year as the soil was not compacted and the thatch layer was fine. Generally, a full lawn renovation is only required every 2 years for the average person, which I had done one last year. From this point, it's all about recovery. Give the turf the nutrients it needs to recover. Today, I am using Kelpro, UMX Liquid, Noculate, Fertech Bio, Hydrolink Advance, and 2-Spec Accelerate. I've talked through the benefits of these products in previous videos, but to quickly touch on them, Kelpro will focus on root development, UMX Liquid, Noculate, and Fertech Bio are all focused on putting organics back in the soil, which helps for overall strength and resilience of the plant. Hydrolink or wetting agent will help water to penetrate deep into the soil and more effectively soak in, which is extremely important in the summertime. 2-Spec Accelerate has a high rate of nitrogen. This will push growth in the plant and help for a faster recovery. Hope you have enjoyed the video and see you all in the next one.